Hello guys, hope all of you are well. So we are starting off with descriptive statistics, and we're going to be looking questions for descriptive stats today. So let's just get started with descriptive stats. So here we go with the first question. Acha, again, descriptive stats includes both the things like representation of data and the representation of data and the measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency have like four things. Like it has mean. Okay, it has five things. So it has mean, median, mode, quartile, and range. And then there is something in the mean, and that is known as assumed mean, right? So we're starting off with the thing, and here we go. So we're just going to be solving the questions for descriptive stats from 2020 till 2020, 2019 till 2022, and then we're doing like 2022 के जो भी yearlies discuss कर रहे हैं, we are doing that already in our Zoom sessions, right? All right. So here we go. The question says what? The question says that Helen measured the length of 150 fishes of a certain species in a large pond. These lengths correct to the nearest centimeter are summarized in the following table, right? We need to draw a cumulative frequency graph, but before drawing the cumulative frequency graph, we need to understand one thing, that over here the class intervals are not even related, like they are not even linked. So first of all, before drawing the cumulative frequency graph, we just need to make the class intervals linked, right? Before making the class intervals linked, what do we need to do is we just need to look at how are we supposed to link them, right? अगर हमें class intervals को link करना होगा, so the first thing that is needs to be done is basically look at the difference in the class intervals, right? The difference, as I told you earlier, is in A level math as well, is going to be always of one, right? तो देखो class interval ये upper bound और ये lower bound, इसके बीच में 1 का difference है, तो difference upon 2 करेंगे, तो difference upon 2 करने का मतलब होता है 0.5. That means to link the class interval, what we do is lower bound में से 0.5 minus होगा और upper bound में 0.5 is going to be added, right? This is what it is going to be done, right? So let's just come here and let's just look at it like this. So negative 0.5 से 9.5, फिर ये क्या हो जाएगा? The 10.5, 10 में से 10 0.5 minus होगा, so it's going to be 9.5 से लेके 14.5, then it's going to be 14.5 से लेके 19.5, and then it is going to be 19.5 से लेके 30.5, and this is what it is going to be done, right? Now we have linked the class interval. The next thing that we have to do here is what we have to look at the then we have to look at okay, so then we have to look at what? Then we have to look at now the class intervals are linked, right? Over here we can see that all of them are linked, right? So now we need to start off with the cumulative frequency curve. First of all, we need to find out the cumulative frequencies. To find out the cumulative frequencies, what we do is we just make a column, right? Another column, and in this column we write a 0 over here, right? 0 is not the cumulative frequency of anything, but we just write it over here so that it's easier for us to add. तो यहाँ पर आते तो 0 में 15 ऐड किया तो it's going to be 15. 15 में फिर हमने 48 ऐड किया तो it's going to be 63. Then it's going to be 63 में हमने अगर 6 ऐड किया तो it's going to be 129. 129 में अगर हमने बेटा जी 21 ऐड किया तो it's going to be 150, right? So ये 15 है, ये 63 है, ये 129 है और ये क्या है बेटा, ये 150 है, right? We have added them together. Now what we need to do is we have the cumulative frequencies for everything, but now we need to make what? We need to make the points also to make the accurate cumulative frequency curve. अब points कैसे बनते हैं? Point ऐसे बनते हैं कि आपने ना सिर्फ ये देखना होता है कि जो भी पहला वाला पॉइंट होता है ना, that is going to be 0 and the cumulative frequency of 0 and the lower bound of the first class interval, right? तो पहला पॉइंट हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? It's going to be negative 0.5, 0. Then the cumulative frequency of the cumulative frequency and the upper bound, so it's going to be what? It is going to be 9.5, 15 हो जाएगा. Then it's going to be 14.5, 63 हो जाएगा. Then it's going to be 19.5, 129 हो जाएगा. And then it is going to be 30.5, 150 हो जाएगा, right? So these are the things that are here, right? तो एक ये हो जाएगा, एक ये हो जाएगा, एक ये हो जाएगा, एक ये हो जाएगा और एक ये हमारे पास सारे पॉइंट्स बन गए. Now what we need to do is we just need to literally just mark these points over here. So let's just get started and let's just look at how are we supposed to do this. So to do this, what are we going to do is we're going to mark these points. So again, to mark these points, what are we going to do is we're going to draw an x-axis over here and a y-axis. So now the x-axis is here with us, and we need to draw a y-axis as well. So y-axis is going to be somewhere over here, and it is going to be something like this, right? Now what we need to look at is, this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis, and this is how it is supposed to be done. Right now we need to just mark the x's. So again, we can see that the commutative frequencies are what the classes are basically starting from negative 0.5. That means we can just start with 0 and we have to go up till 30.5. So that means what? That means like each class we can keep it of 10, then it can be of 20, then it can be of 30. Okay, no, we can do it more as well. So it's going to be 10, 20, and then it is going to be what? It is going to be 30, right? So this is what it is going to be. Then happens what? Then happens something like this, that what is going to happen is we are just going to be looking at what? We're just going to be looking at the commutative frequencies over here. So if you need to look at the commutative frequencies over here, it's going to be 10, it's going to be 20, then it's going to be what? It's going to be 30, then it's going to be 40, then it's going to be 50, then it's going to be 60, then it's going to be 70, and then 80, and then 90, and then 100, and then it is going to be what? It is going to be 110, and then 120, and then 130, and then 140, and then 150, right? This is how it is supposed to be done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just, so the reason for making these points was, okay, it becomes, I'm sorry, all right. So all right, now we're gonna do what? We're just gonna be starting off with the negative 0.5 comma 0 is the thing, right? So negative 0.5 comma 0 is this thing, and this is going to be what? Negative 0.5 is not here on the x-axis, but we still can mark it wherever we want to mark it. So it's going to be what? It is going to be, we cannot mark it, we can just start with 0, right? So 0 by 0 enough. So it's going to be 0 over here. Then it's going to be what? Then it's going to be, the points are going to be marked on like these 9.5. 9.5 was the upper bound of the first class interval, and the commutative frequency of this class is going to be 15, right? So we're going to come here 9.5. So over here what is going to happen is, this is literally just 2.5, this is 5, this is 7.5, after 7.5 this is going to be 8, 8.5, and this is going to be 9, and this is going to be 9.5. 9.5 पे it is 15, so 9.5 पे if it's 15, so it's going to be somewhere over here, that it will look something like this, right? Then happens what? Then happens 14.5 पे 63, right? So 14.5, so it is going to be 12.5, and this is going to be 15. So 14.5 is going to be here, and 63 is going to be somewhere over here, and this is how it is going to be done, right? So this is what it is going to be, that it is going to be 63. Then happens what? Then happens, it is going to be 19.5 by 129. So 19.5 is going to be where? 19.5 is going to be here, and 129 is going to be where? 129 is going to be here, right? So we have to mark it over here, so that it is going to be something like this. Then happens what? Then they are asking for what? 30.5 pay, it's going to be 150. So 30.5 is going to be some point over here, right? 30.5 is going to be some point over here, and 150 is going to be somewhere over here. So it is going to be something like this, right? Now we have to just join these points. So it is going to be what? It is going to be something like this, that the commutative frequency curve is going to be made. Even though if it just says the commutative frequency graph, right? It says commutative frequency graph. So that means what? That means it is going to be, if it says that it is a commutative frequency graph, so just we just need to understand, we could just have drawn the commutative frequency polygon as well. It would have been fine too. Why? Because commutative frequency polygons and graphs are basically like, when it says graph, you can draw the polygon as well, or you can draw the curve as well, the freehand curve. It's going to be fine, right? Alright, even though this minus 0.5, someone has asked over here that why is it minus 0.5? Because while we were linking the class interval, we have to subtract the difference upon 2 from the lower bound and add the difference upon 2 in the upper bound of each class, right? So when we have to do that, so while doing that, this 0 becomes negative 0.5, this 0 becomes negative 0.5, but it is going to be the similar thing as well, right? Okay. let's get started. Now they're saying what? They're saying 40% of the fishes have length of d centimeter of more or more. What we have to do is we just need to find out that what is that distance, what is that length d. Okay, 40% are, like 40% of the fishes have length d or more, right? So that means if 40% of the total fishes are of the length d or more, so let's suppose, or d or more means like we can go up till where? We can go up till 150, right? That is what it says, that we can go up till 30.5, right? Matlab we don't know where to start, but we just know that 40% are going to be more than d. So we don't know till where. So the last length that there was 30.5, right? So that means 40% इतने हैं कि वो 30.5 तक जा सकते हैं, मतलब d 40% जो है ना वो d से बढ़े हैं, लेकिन कहाँ तक हो सकते हैं? 30.5 तक हो सकते हैं। तो वो d क्या है? तो पहले 40% निकालते हैं आप, तो टोटल फ्रीक्वेंसी अगर आप चेक करें तो 150 है, 150 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 0.4 इज गोना बी 60, राइट? इट इज गोना बी 60। तो अब देखो 60 पर अगर मैं आता हूँ तो 60 की अगर मैं लेंथ देखूँ यहाँ पर, सो इट इज गोना बी व्हाट? इट इज गोना बी दिस 60 पर जो भी मेरे पास कर्व था वो बेसिकली एक्स एक्सिस को कहाँ पे टच कर रहा है? तो if it was 60, it was touching somewhere over here, right? So that means it is going to be something like this, right? If it's going to be something like this, what is this value? This value is going to be, so it is going to be 12.5, then 13, then 13.5, and then it is going to be 14, right? So it's going to be 14 is the length after which the fishes are gonna be, the like the 40% of the fishes are gonna be more than 14 till 30.5, right? So that means what? That means it's going to be d is gonna be 14.5, and that is gonna be it, right? Now they're saying that the mean length of these fishes is 15.295. Calculate and calculate an estimated estimate for the variance of the length, right? So guys, over here they have given us the mean length of the fishes. How would they have calculated the mean? They would have simply just calculated the mean through the formula summation of fx upon summation of f, right? This is the formula to figure out the mean. But now they're saying what? They're saying that we need to calculate what? We don't have to work out the mean anymore. Mean is given to us as 15.295. But what they are asking is, they are literally just asking us that we need to figure out what? We need to figure out the variance. So there is a formula for variance as well. And what is that formula? The formula to figure out the variance is going to be what? It is going to be this, right? That the formula for variance is literally, the formula for variance is what? The formula for variance is summation of fx square upon summation of f minus mean, right? Mean square, right? It's going to be mean का square. तो अब यहाँ पर आते हैं and let's just figure out what are these x values, right? What is, like, we have to square them and then we have to multiply it with frequency and divide it with total frequency and then subtract mean. Mean is already given to us, but we need to figure out these x, right? So if we come here and if we look at this thing, so over here the x values are going to be what? The x values are going to be the middle values of the linked class interval, right? Class interval जो होती है ना, उनका जब भी लिंक करेंगे ना, तो उसको बेसिकली हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसका मिडिल नंबर हमारे पास इज द x values, right? So let's just get started with this, that how it is going to happen. So let's just, so the first linked class interval is going to be this one, right? तो अब मेरे पास linked का मुझे क्या करना होगा? To for the linked class interval I'll have to figure out my x and then square that x and then figure it out, right? So let's just get started. So it's going to be 9.5 plus negative, so x values is what I'm trying to figure out over here. X is going to be the middle value for each class interval, right? So it's going to be what? It's going to be negative 0.5 plus 0.5. So it's going to be 9 divided by 2, so it's going to be 4.5. Then it is going to be what over here? It's going to be 12, right? So 9.5 plus 14.5 is going to be what? 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12, and then it is going to be 15.15 plus 19 divided, okay, sorry, 14.5 plus 19.5 divided by 2 is going to be 17, and then it is going to be 25, and this is how we will get our middle value. Now each middle value has to be squared, right? And then it has to be multiplied with the frequency. So when we have to square it, so 4.5 square is going to be what? So 4.5 square is going to be 20.25. So 20.25 is here. 12 square is going to be 144. 17 square is going to be what? 289. And then it is going to be what? 25 square is going to be 625, right? So we'll have to now multiply each frequency with the x square to figure out the summation of fx square. So fx square is going to be what? It's going to be 15 multiplied by 20.25. So 15 multiplied by 20.25 is going to be what? It is going to be 303.75. Then it is going to be what? It is going to be 48 multiplied by 144. So that is what it is going to be, because we are looking out for frequency into x square. So it's going to be 48 multiplied by 144. So 48 multiplied by 144 is going to be what? It is going to be 6912. Then we're going to be looking at what? Then we're going to be looking at 66 multiplied by 129. Sorry, 66 multiplied by 289, because 289 is the x square over here and this is the frequency. So 66 multiplied by 289, it is going to be 19074. Then it is going to be 21 multiplied by 625. So it is going to be what? 13125, right? So we're going to total this up. So it's going to be what? 303.75 plus 6912 plus 19074 plus 13125. So it's going to be what? It is going to be 39414.75. This is going to be the total of the frequency over here, right? So now this is the total of what? This is the total of summation of fx square. So if we already have this, so it is going to be what? It is going to be, we're going to come here and we're going to put it down over here. So this is going to be 39414.75. What is going to be the total of frequency, guys? The total of frequency over here is going to be what? It is going to be 150. That is already given to us. So we're just going to place it at in the denominator 150, and the mean was already given to us as 15.295. So that means 15.295 square is going to be here, right? Now what we have to do is we just have to look at 39414.75 upon 150 and then minus 15.295 square is going to be what? It is going to be 28.8. So that is going to be the answer for the variance of this variable, and that is going to be it, right? So this is it for the first question. I'm just going to hop on to the next question, right? Again, the next question is very similar. So I think I'll just leave it for you guys to do it. You guys have the access to the worksheet in the description. So I'm just going to start off with, it's like very similar. So I'm not even doing this. Okay, I have to do the mean part of this. Okay, let's do the mean part for this. So if I have to do the mean part for this, we just need to look, we just need to find out the mean over here. So to find out mean, the formula is what? The formula for mean is going to be summation of fx upon summation of f, right? This is the formula for mean. So let's just hop on to the x part and let's just figure out that what is this fx. X is what? X is the middle value of the class interval. So over here, the middle value is going to be what? The middle value in this case is going to be, first of all, this is going to be negative 0.5 and this is going to be 4.5. Let's just link them and figure it out. Then it's going to be 4.5 and this is going to be 10.5, and then it's going to be 10.5 and this is going to be 20.5, and this is going to be 20.5 and this is going to be 30.5. Then it's going to be 30.5 and this is going to be 40.5, and this is going to be 40.5 and this is going to be 60.5, right? Now what we need to figure it out is we need to figure out the x values, that means the middle values. So to figure out the middle values, what is going to happen is we're just going to add them and figure it out. So it's going to be what? It is going to be negative 0.5 plus 4.5 divided by 2, and the answer is going to be 2 again. So it's going to be 2 over here, it's going to be 7.5 over here, then it's going to be 15.5 over here, and then it's going to be basically the upper bound plus lower bound divided by 2, right? Then it's going to be 51 upon 2 is going to be 25.5 here. Then it's going to be 40.5 plus 30.5. It's going to be what? It is going to be 71. So 71 divided by 2 becomes what? It becomes 35.5. And then it is going to be what? 101 divided by 2 is going to be 50.5, and that is going to be here, right? So now we have this. We just have to figure out the fx. So fx is literally just frequency multiplied with the x values. So it's going to be 24 in this case. So it's going to be 24. 16 multiplied by 7.5, it's going to be 120. And then 15.5 multiplied by 32 is going to be what? It is going to be 496. Then it is going to be what? 25.5 multiplied by 66 is going to be 1683. and then it is going to be 35.5 multiplied by 20, it's going to be 710, and then it is going to be 50.5 multiplied by 4, it's going to be 202. So we're going to sum all of these up to figure out summation of fx. So it's going to be 24 plus 120 plus 496 plus 1683 plus 710 plus 202. So it's going to be 3235, and this is how it is going to be done. And then, so 3235 is the numerator, so 3235 is the numerator here, and then in the denominator it is going to be 150. So 3235 divided by 150, and it is going to be 21.56, and this is going to be your final answer, right? Now we just hop on to, okay, again it's like we have to draw the histogram. So again, to draw the histogram, first thing that we need to do is we just need to look at how are we supposed to link these class intervals, because these class intervals are not linked. And again, if the class intervals are not linked, we just have to link them first of all, and then we have to carry on with the thing, right? So let's just try and link them first of all. Again, the difference is always going to be of 1. It's never going to be lesser than 1 or greater than 1, right? So that means this is going to be 0 0.5 till it is going to be 30.5, then it is going to be 30.5 till 45.5, then it is going to be 45.5 till 65.5, and then it is going to be 65.5 till 75.5, and then it is going to be 75.5 till 100.5, and this is how it is going to be done, right? Now what we have to do is we just need to look at the frequency of it, and then we just need to figure out the class width first of all. Why class width? Because equal class widths are going to lead us to an histogram where we are the normal histogram. But if the class widths are unequal, we cannot like do it using like the normal histogram. We'll have to draw the frequency density histogram. So let's just figure out the class width. But again, to figure out the class width, we just need to know that the class widths are usually figured out through the class size, right? मतलब through upper bound minus lower bound from of the linked class intervals, right? So these class intervals are going to be linked, right? So इनका जो difference होगा ना, that is what the class interval is going to look like. So class width is going to be looking like 30.5 minus 0.5. So it's going to be 30 over here. Then it's going to be 45.5 minus 30.5. So it's going to be 15 over here. And then it is going to be 65.5 minus 45.5. So it's going to be 20 over here. And then it is going to be 75.5 minus 65.5. So it's going to be 10 over here. And then it is going to be 100.5 minus 75.5. So it's going to be 25 over here. Again, the class widths are not equal. If the class widths are not equal, we're supposed to draw the frequency density histogram. So to draw the frequency density histogram, it's going to be frequency upon class width, right? So frequency upon class width. So let's just do it. So 21 divided by 30 is going to be 0.7. So over here we'll have 0.7. Then it's going to be 15 upon 30. It's going to be 0.5. Then it's going to be 20 divided by 68. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 0.29, right? It's going to be 0. Let's just say 0.3, and then 10 divided by frequency upon class width. Okay, my bad. There's going to be 68 upon 20. Okay, frequency upon class width, 30 upon 15 is going to be 30 upon 15 is going to be 2. It's the formula is frequency upon class width, right? Then it's going to be 68 divided by 20 is going to be 3.4. So it's going to be 3.4. Then it's going to be 86 divided by 10 is going to be 8.6. And then it is going to be 45 divided by 25, and it's going to be 1.8, right? This is what it is going to be like. Now we have to draw the frequency density histogram. So if we need to draw the frequency density histogram, so for that we just need to mark the x's first of all. Again, for the x's we just know one thing, that these x's are the class widths are going to be the class intervals are of these sort, right? So we just need to draw the histogram using this, and to do that, what we're going to do is we're just gonna like start off with okay, so let's just do it this way. Let's just draw it. Let's just mark it as, okay, wait a second, let me just fairly do it. So over here, yeah, so this is my y-axis, right, and this is my x-axis, right? So now this is going to be what? It's going to be 10, maybe 20, or I think we have to take it till 100. Oh no. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 10, it's going to be 20, it's going to be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then this is going to be 80, this is going to be 90, and this is going to be 100, right? This is what how it is supposed to be done. Now what we need to look at is the first one is starting from 0.5 till 30.5. So 0.5 till 30.5, and then what? Okay, let's just mark the frequency densities as well. So let's just mark it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is going to be 10, right? So let's just start doing it. So starting from 0.5, so let's just start from 0 and we're going it till 30.5, and the frequency density is 0.7. So it is going to be somewhere over here, and this is how it is supposed to be looking like, right? So this is what it is going to be. Then happens what? Then happens 30.5, say 45.5, and it is going to be 2, right? So 30.5 से लेके 45.5, it is going to be 2. So 45.5, 45.5, yeah. So over here it is going to be somewhere over here, and it is going to be 2 basically. तो यहाँ पर आके इस पे हमें 2 पर एक मार्क लगाना है, and this is how it is supposed to be done, right? Wait a second. So 45.5 is going to be somewhere over here, and this is what it is going to look like, right? Okay, so now what happens is then over here comes what? 45.5 till 65.5, and the frequency density is 3.4, right? Okay, so 3.4 is going to be the thing, and 3.4 is going to be the frequency density, 45.5 to 65.5. So 3.4 is going to be somewhere over here first of all, right? And it's going to be 60.4, 65.5. So 65.5 is going to be somewhere over here, and it is going to be something like this, right? Then happens what? Then happens we have to draw it till 75.5, and it is going to be till 8.6 is the frequency density. So 75.5 is going to be somewhere over here, right? It's going to be somewhere over here. So let's just start drawing it till 8.4. So 8.4 is going to be somewhere over here, and then we have to just link it, bring it down here, and this is what it is going to be like, right? Then happens what? Then the last one is 100.5, and the frequency is 1.8. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 1.8, and it's going to be 100.5 is here, and this is what it is going to look like, right? So that is it. Now they're saying what? They're saying that the interval contains the median, right? They're saying the median interval. So if I take the group values of x for x-axis, yes, of course, of course. Okay, the class interval contains the medium. तो median के लिए सबसे पहले हमें median frequency निकालना पड़ेगा. That at which frequency does the median lie? So the median term के लिए formula है, and this is what gives us the median का term. के median term कौन सा होगा? So what is the total of frequency? The total of frequency is 250. So 250 plus 1 is going to be 251 upon 2. So that means 251 upon 2 becomes what? 251 upon 2 divided by 2, so it's going to be 125.5th term. Again, this is the median class, right? This is the median class, so we're going to round it up, and it's going to be 126th term. So if it's 126th term, so that means what? Over here we have till 21. Over here have till 50, like over here till this point we're going to have 51 terms, right? Behind us. And then 51 plus 68. So 51 plus 68 will be what? It is 119 terms till here. And then now what is going to be the 126th term? The 126th term is going to lie in this one, right? Because यहाँ तक तो 119 terms हुए थे ना total. So that means 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126. It's going to lie over here. So when it's going to lie over here, that would mean what? This is going to be the median class, and it is going to be 66 से लेके 75, and that is going to be it, right? Now happens what? Now happens something like this. Calculate, given that an estimate of the mean time is 61.05, state what feature of the distribution account for the median and the mean being different, right? Guys, they're asking for, okay, that if the mean and the median is different, that means what does it tell you about about the distribution? So whenever the mean and median are different, so that means if they're equal, so if the mean is equal to the median, that means the distribution is symmetrical, right? The distribution is symmetrical. But if it is mean is not equal to the median, if mean is not equal to the median, then it is going to be what? It is going to be non-symmetrical, and this is what it is going to be like, right? So this is how it is supposed to be. So right now, median is basically lying somewhere here, and the mean is given as 61.05. So that would mean what? That the distribution is not symmetrical, and that is going to be it. Is not symmetrical. That is what we are going to write down in an answer, and this will get us a mark, right? So let's just move on and let's just look at the next case, and that is this. That is a question of assumed mean, right? Okay, now they have given us the difference between the x values and the assumed value. The assumed value over here is 50, and then they have also given us the x values, and what we need to look at is we need the sum of all x values, that is 19994, and we need to figure out how many number of values are there. So there are going to be n number of values, right? So over here, so what do you think will happen with P1 and M1 of students of AS Math? Yeah, what I feel is it's going to be like they're just going to grade you on one of the components. So if P1 and S1 both are leaked, then it's going to be like they're gonna assess you on your like grades that have been sent by your school or your college. But we cannot say like, matlab, we cannot say anything about it because the last statement that came from Cambridge was like they were still not acceptable about the leak. They were we're figuring it out. We're still investigating, and we'll update you as soon as we're done with the investigation. So that is like a vague statement, man. Okay, so now there's a formula for assumed mean, right? And what is that formula? The formula was summation of x values upon n is equals to a plus summation of differences upon n. So this is what gets you the assumed mean, right? This is what is the answer of the mean. Like this is the normal formula for the mean, and this is the formula for assumed mean, right? So over here, these two things are going to be equal. Now I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. All is missing. That is the n values. So what is the sum? The sum is 944 upon n, and then this is going to be what? A plus what is the difference? It's going to be 144 upon 50 upon n, right? So what is the assumed value over here? The assumed value over here is a is 50, right? So this is what it is supposed to be. Now happens what? We just need to figure out that what is going to be the this n value. So let's just bring all the fractions on one side. So it's going to be 944 upon n minus 144 upon n, and it is going to be equivalent to 50, right? So it's going to be what? 944 minus 144 is going to be 800. So it's going to be 800 upon n, and it is going to be equivalent to 50. So we're going to just bring it down till here, and we're going to take it back here, and it is going to be what? 800 upon 50 is going to be what? It is going to be equal to n. 0, 0 cancels out, and it is going to be 1 and then 6, right? So the n is the number of values are going to be 16, and that is going to be the final answer in this case, right? So that is it. All right, let's hop on to this thing now. Okay, so there is a stem and leaf diagram that has been given to us, and they're asking for what? First of all, they're asking for, okay, so they're saying two machines A and B produce a metal rod, right? They're producing what? They're producing a metal rod, and then of a certain type, right? The length in meters of 19 rods produced by machine A and 19 rods produced by machine B are shown in a back-to-back stem and leaf. Back-to-back stem and leaf is basically the like two stem and leaf that are made, right? So what happens is over here, there is like the key is something like this, right? So key means what? If it's 22 written in the center, the number on the right is going to be 0.224 meter, and it's going to be 0.227. The number on the right is 7, and the number on the left is 4. So that means what? It is going to be 0.227 here and 0.224 over here, and that is what this key means, right? Now they're asking for the median value and the interquartile range, right? So to find out the median value and the interquartile range, what we're going to be looking at is the first of all to figure out the median term. So to figure out the median term, what happens is we're going to figure out the median term, and then we're going to figure out the median value. So there's a formula to figure out the median term, and that is going to be 1 upon 2 into n plus 1. Right? The total number of values in A are going to be what? They are 19 rods, right? 19 values are here. So that means 1 upon 2 multiply by 19 plus 1 is 20. So it's going to be 10th term, right? It's going to be 10th term. So let's just get started with the 10th term by counting. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and this is going to be 10th, right? So if this is 10th, so what is it going to be? 23 and 8. So that means it's going to be 0.238. So we're going to write down median as 0.238 meters, and this is what it is going to be. Now comes what? Now comes the interquartile range, because that is also what we need to find out. So to figure out the interquartile range, what do I have to do is I just have to look at one thing, and that is the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So let's just figure out the lower quartile term. So to figure out the lower quartile term, what is it going to be? It is going to be 1 over 4 into n plus 1. What is n, guys? The n over here is going to be 19 plus 1. So it's going to be 20. So it's going to be fifth term. So if it's going to be fifth term, तो fifth term का मसला क्या होता है? Fifth term is what we need to find out first of all. So this is going to be fifth term. So it's going to be first, second, third, fourth, and this is going to be fifth. So it's going to be 0.231. So lower quartile in this case is going to be 0.231 meters, right? Let's just figure out the upper quartile. So to do that, we have to figure out the upper quartile term first of all. That is going to be 3 upon 4 into n plus 1. N is going to be 19. So 19 plus 1 is 20. 4, 5, 15th term. So 15th term is the upper quartile term. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's going to be 0.245. So it's going to be 0.245. So upper quartile is going to be 0.245 meters, and this is how it is going to be done. So first, and then upper quartile and lower quartile, so it's going to be interquartile range. So it's going to be what? 0.245 minus 0.231. So what we do is we just subtract the exact values of the upper quartile and lower quartile. So it's going to be 0.245 minus 0.231. So it's going to be 0.014. Right? So 0.014 is the interquartile range, and that is going to be it. This is going to be my final answer, right? Let's just get started and let's just look at the next thing. And it is given that for machine B, the median is given, the lower quartile is given, and the upper quartile is also given. Now they're asking to draw the box and whisker for both A and B, right? We have to draw the box and whisker diagram. Again, to draw box and whisker diagram, we need 5 things. And what are those 5 things? It's going to be the minimum value, it's going to be the minimum, maximum, the median, and what? And the upper quartile and the lower quartile. Right? These are the things that we need to draw. Right? So अब box A and B दोनों के लिए बनाना है, तो पहले तो B का ना minimum value भी निकाल लेते हैं ना. तो अगर B का minimum निकालने जाते हैं, तो B का जो minimum होगा वो कितना होगा? 0.211 हो जाएगा. Right? So it's going to be 0.211. And if we need to draw the, yeah, it's going to be 0.211. And if we need to draw it for the, yeah, if you need to draw it for the for machine A, so sorry, the maximum value for machine B is going to be 0.256. Yeah, so it's going to be 0.256. The maximum is going to be what? The maximum in this case is going to be 0.25 and 6, right? So this is how it is supposed to be done. So this is going to be the minimum value, and this is going to be the maximum value, and these are the 2 things that are going to be there. Now we need to do what? We need to draw the box and whisker for A as well. तो A के लिए भी सब कुछ चाहिए होगा. So if we talk about the A वाला machine, तो A का जो minimum value होगा, that is going to be what? It is going to be minimum value for A is going to be 0.220, right? It's going to be 0.220. So we're just going to write it over here. That is going to be 0.220. Then there is a maximum value as well in this case. So maximum in this case is going to be what? 0.254. So we're just going to write it as 0.254. And then what is going to be the lower quartile? We just figured out the lower quartile of it. It's going to be 0.231. It's going to be 0.231. The upper quartile is going to be what? The upper quartile in this case is going to be 0.245. And then the median quartile is going to be what? The median quartile is going to be 0.238. right? It's going to be 0.238 and that is going to be it, right? So these are the things that are going to be there to draw the box and whisker. Now we'll just start with box and whisker. Before starting off with box and whisker, first of all we need to mark the x's as well, right? So now we can see the values are ranging from 0.21 till 0.25. So we can just start with 0.2, right? 0.2, 0.21, so we just need to draw the intervals of zero point 0.1, right? So over here, it's going to be what? It's going to be 0.2, 0.2, sorry, we are going to be drawing the intervals of 0.01. So 0.2, 0.21, 0.22, and then it's going to be 0.23, then it's going to be 0.24, right? It's going to be 0.24, and then it is going to be 0.25, right? And it's going to be 0.26, right? All right, so this is what it is going to be like. Then what is going to be the mean? Let's just draw the b first. So if you need to draw the b first, what is going to be 0.232? 0.232 is for machine b. So let's just draw the minimum value first of all. So it's going to be 0.211. So 211 is going to be somewhere over here, right? Let's just draw it because we need to draw 2. So this is going to be the median value, the minimum value. The maximum value is 0.256. So 0.256 is going to be somewhere over here. Then comes what? Then comes the, okay, let me just mark it in the middle somewhere. This is better, I guess. Right? Then comes the median, the lower quartile, which is 0.224. So 0.224 is going to be so 0.224 is going to be somewhere over here, and then this is how it is going to be, right? And then what is going to be the median value? The lower quartile is here, 0.232. So 0.232 is going to be here, and then it is going to be what? It is going to be the upper quartile as well. So the upper quartile is going to be 0.243. So 0.243 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So this is it. Now we just have to join these three things, and then we have to draw this box with the minimum and the maximum value. So this is for machine B, right? This is machine B. We need to draw it for machine A as well. So for machine A, the data is given to 0.220. So 0.220 is going to be somewhere over here, right? This is for the minimum value 0.22. So 0.22 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So this is how it is supposed to be done. And then it is what? Now the median is going to be what? The maximum is 0.254. So the maximum is 0.254. So it's going to be somewhere over here, right? This is what it is supposed to be. 0.254 is somewhere over here. Then comes what? Then comes 0.231. So 0.231 is going to be, wait a second, let me just do it a little deeper. So yes, right, this is how it is supposed to be done. अब क्या होगा 0.231 यहाँ पर हो गया, तो 231 is going to be somewhere over here. So 0.231, then it's going to be 245. So 245 is going to be somewhere over here, the upper quartile, and the median quartile is 0.238. So 0.238 is going to be somewhere over here, and this is how it is supposed to be done, right? This is what it is going to be like, right? So now we're just going to join them, and oh, let me just draw this again. Yeah, 245 is going to be here. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to join them back together, and this is what it is supposed to be like, right? And that is it, right? So this is what for machine A and machine B looks like, right? Now they're saying what? Now they're asking us that we need to make, so this is machine A, this is machine A, and this is going to be machine B, right? Now they're asking us for what? They're asking us to draw the comparison between both of them. So if we need to make the comparison, nahi, we cannot keep any x values. We just need to make sure that the x values are such that we can just simply look at what we can just simply like that are मतलब basically relevant also ना, मतलब अगर मैं कुछ भी x values रख दूंगा, so how is it going to be relevant? It's not going to be relevant at all. So we also need to make sure that they are relevant. All right, so okay, let's get started. And okay, so what happens is now in this case, what we have to do, what we just need to look at, hence make two comparisons between the length of the rods of machine A and machine B, right? We need to make the comparison between the two rods as well. So guys, to make the comparison, we just need to know that the length of machine B are going to be longer than the machine A, because उसका जो maximum value है वो आगे है. So what we can say that, okay, no, machine A is longer than machine B, because देखो machine A is longer because machine A का जो median है वो भी ज़्यादा आ रहा है, lower quartile भी ज़्यादा आ रहा है और upper quartile भी ज़्यादा आ रहा है as compared to machine B. So what is can be the first comparison? The first comparison in this case is going to be what? It is going to be machine A is longer than machine B, right? And then the values in machine A are less spreaded out as compared to machine B. So we can also write it as machine B, the length of machine B are more spreaded out as compared to as compared to machine A, right? That is what it is going to be like, and that is how it is going to be done, right? Okay, let's just hop on to the next question. And in this case, we just need to do what? We just need to draw that. Okay, so now let's just get started. So they're saying what? The height in centimeter of 11 basketball players in each of the two clubs. There are two clubs, Amazons and Giants, and are shown that they have shown as the length over here. So they are shown as the length. So Amazons or Giants का length दिया हुआ है. So it's going to be 205, it's going to be 198, 181, 182, 190, and then this is how the lengths are being made, and this is how the lengths over here are being made, right? So now what they're asking us, the first question, they have given us the heights in centimeters. They're asking us what? State an advantage of using a stem and leaf diagram compared to a box and whisker plot, right? What they are asking is that what is like the comparison that could, like what is better in making a stem and leaf diagram as compared to the box and whisker. So now what is the first thing that you know about box and whisker? That box and whisker just have 5 values, right? That is minimum value, median, lower quartile, upper quartile, and maximum value, right? But like drawing up a stem and leaf would mean what? Drawing up a stem and leaf would mean that we are including all the values. We're not just including 5 values, we're including all the values. So what you can write it, that stem and leaf displays the all values in data, whereas the box and whisker shows a limited number of values, right? And that is what it is going to be, right? All right, let's get started. And they're saying what? They're saying represent the data by drawing back-to-back stem and leaf with Amazons on the left hand side of the diagram, right? We need to make two stem and leaves with Amazons being on the left and of course the Giants being on the right? So the first of all, so this is how it is going to be looking like. The Amazon values are going to be here and the Giant values are going to be here, right? So this is what it is going to be the thing, right? So now what happens is we just need to draw, the first thing that we need to do is we just need to draw the key as well, right? So we can see that the how do we draw the key? That is like a very essential part in drawing the stem and leaf. So the key represents basically what is going to be the stem and what is going to be the leaf. So if you look at this part, so there is going to be the repetition of two letters, right? Two digits. The first two digits are being repeated. For example, if we talk about 20, 19, and 19 again, 18, and then 18 over here as well, then 21 and 17, right? So that means we just know that there is the repetition of what? There is a repetition of the first two digits in the first case as well and in the second case as well. So the better thing to make the key as is the first two digits, right? तो first two digits को हम अपनी key बनाते हैं और यहाँ पर आगे key लिखते हैं. तो पहले let's suppose मैंने लिख दिया कि 17 और फिर यहाँ पर क्या हो गया 17 के साथ एक वैल्यू है 8, तो Amazon की अगर 8 है तो वो यहाँ पर आ जाएगी और अगर 17 के साथ कोई वैल्यू है 5 तो ये जायंट्स में है ये रही तो वो यहाँ पर आ जाएगी. दिस वुड मीन व्हाट? दिस वुड मीन दैट 178 centimeter height of Arizona. So this is how the key is drawn, and then 175 height centimeter height of giants, right? So this is how it is going to be done. So यहाँ पर आते हैं and let's just do it. So it's going to be 1 7, then it's going to be what? Then it's going to be 1 8, then it's going to be what? Then it's going to be 1 9, and then it's going to be 2 0, and then it's going to be 2 1, right? So 2 1 के बाद तो कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, दोनों में नहीं है, so we just don't even need to do it for 2 2. We just going to stop it at 2 1. So 1 7 वाली कौन कौन सी वैल्यूज है? यहाँ पर जो 1 7 वाली वैल्यूज है वो 8 ये है ना, so let's just mark it as 1 7 8 यहाँ पर लिख दिया. Again this has to be in the ascending order, right? 1 8 में क्या क्या रिपीट हो रहा है? 1 8 में मेरे पास हो रहा है ये 1 रहा, ये 2 रहा, एंड देन ये 4 है, तो 1 8 1 2 and 4. देन 1 9 में क्या क्या रिपीट हो रहा है? 0 आ रहा है, right? So it's going to be 0 1 9 0. Then it's going to be 6 and 8, so it's going to be 6, and this is going to be 8, so it's going to be 6 over here, and this is going to be 8 over here. Then it's going to be what? Then it's going to be 2 0 2 0 में 2 0 1 आ रहा है, और 2 0 2 आ रहा है, और 5 आ रहा है, तो 1 2 5. So it's going to be 1 2 and 5, and then 2 1 0 में मेरे पास आ रहा है 2 1 में आ रहा है 5. So this is how the Amazon is going to be made. Now we have to make the giant as well. So that means this is all of it is done. Now comes the giant. So इसमें 1 7 में आ रहा है सिर्फ 5, और उसके अलावा I don't think there is anything else. So 1 7 5 हो गया. फिर 1 8, फिर 1 8 में क्या आ रहा है? 2 आ रहा है, तो फिर 2 लिखा. फिर क्या आ रहा है? 4 आ रहा है, तो 4 लिख दिया. फिर 7 आ रहा है, तो 7 लिख दिया. फिर 9 आ रहा है, तो 9 लिख दिया. फिर 9 में 1 9 में क्या आ रहा है? 2 आ रहा है, 3 आ रहा है, 5 आ रहा है, 5 आ रहा है, और 5 आ रहा है, और 2 0 में सिर्फ 4 आ रहा है. So this is how the stem and leaf is going to be done, right? Let's look at the second part, the third part of the question, and that says what? That says we need to find out the interquartile range of the players of the Amazons, right? So we have already drawn the stem and leaf, right? So stem, using the stem and leaf, we're just going to be drawing the heights, right? We just have to figure out the height, so we're just going to be doing that using the stem and leaf diagram. अब देखो मतलब इंटरक्वार्टाइल रेंज निकालने का मतलब स्टेम एंड लीफ आपको बेसिकली सारी चीज़ों को अरेंज करके दे देता है ना, तो इसलिए इट्स बेटर टू यूज दिस स्टेम एंड लीफ टू ड्रॉ द इंटरक्वार्टाइल रेंज. एंड टू डू दैट व्हाट आर वी गोना डू इज, first of all we're going to figure out the lower quartile term. The lower quartile term is figured out by 1 over 4 multiplied by n plus 1. How many number of values are there? So there are 11 number of values, so 11 plus 1 is going to be 12, right? So it's going to be 12, so it's going to be third term, right? So it's going to be third term. So it's going to be third term. So third term अगर यहाँ देखते हैं तो एक term, दो term, तीन term. So third term is going to be 182. So lower quartile is going to be 182 for Amazon. Then we have to figure out the upper quartile as well. So for upper quartile, we just need to do what? 3 over 4 multiplied by n plus 1, that is 12. So it's going to be 3. 3 3s are 9. So ninth term is what it is going to be. So ninth term is going to be what? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So it's going to be 202. So that is going to be it. So upper quartile up to it's going to be upper quartile is going to be 202, and that is going to be it. So if we need to figure out the interquartile range, that is going to be 202 minus 182. So 202 minus 182 becomes 20, and that is what the interquartile range is going to be like, right? Let's move on and let's look at the next thing. Now they're saying 4 new players join the Amazon, right? So there are 4 players that have joined the Amazon recently. The mean height of the 15 players of the Amazon is now 191.2. The height of the 3 players of the Amazon, जो 3 players जो नए आए थे, हालांकि आए 4 थे, उनमें से 3 की जो height है वो ये है. We need to find out the height of the 4th player, right guys? Okay, so if the mean height of 15, if the mean height is of 15, the of 15 is 191.2, so what is going to be the sum? So if we need to figure out the sum of these 15 players, so it's going to be 191.2 multiplied by 15 is going to be what? It is going to be 191.2 multiplied by 15 is going to be 2868, right? Now this is the sum of 15 players. So this is sum of 15 players में से मैं जो 14 players है ना, मतलब कि ये तीन और वो ये नए वाले 3 और ये बेसिकली 11 पुराने वाले, इन सारों को अगर मैं ऐड करके इस 15 के सम से माइनस कर दूं तो मेरे पास जो है वो टर्म आ जाएगा जो कि मिसिंग है, राइट? जो कि जिसका हाइट मुझे ढूंढने वाला हाइट मिल जाएगा, राइट? तो अब यहाँ पर आते हैं तो 15 टर्म का सम कितना है? 2866. इसमें से 14 अगर मुझे माइनस करना है, so if I need to subtract 14, what is it going to be like? Subtracting 14 would mean what? Subtracting 14 would mean that the sum of 14, right? That these 11, so 1, 2, 3, and we have to add these to 205 plus 198 plus 181 plus 182 plus 190 plus 215 plus 201 plus 178 plus 202 plus 196 plus 184. So it's going to be what? 2132, right? So it's going to be 2132. And then in 2132 may we need to add these as well. This is what, so we just have 2132 is the sum of the first 11 and then these three as well. So plus 180 plus 185 plus 190, so it's going to be 2687, right? So it's going to be 2868 minus 2687, so it's going to be what? It is going to be 181 is going to be the height of that missing player. That was the fourth new player that was there, right? All right. Now this is like an amazing, like again a repetition of the question that we just did, and this is again this similar thing. It's not that different. So I think okay. So the following table gives the weekly snowfall. Okay. Now okay, let's just do this as well. This is basically again a back-to-back stem and leaf. So I think we'll practice one more stem and leaf through this, and then we'll look at the next question. Because this is like literally just stem and leaf being made. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. This is a good question. Okay, so now they're saying what? The back-to-back stem and leaf shows the diameters in centimeter of 19 cylindrical pipe produced by company A and company B. The key is given to us. If it's 35, 33, 35 written, that means 350, 0.351 from company A and 0.353 for company B. Find the median and the interquartile range for company A, right? So if we need to figure out the median, so it's going to be how many? 19 cylindrical pipes, right? So median term is what we need to first figure out. So if we need to figure out the median term, it's going to be what? It's going to be 1 over 2 multiplied by 920. So it's going to be 20, like 19 plus 1 is 20, right? The 10th term. So if we need to figure out the 10th term, that is going to be what? 10th term is going to be, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, so it's going to be 0.355. So median is going to be 0.355, and this is how it is going to be done, right? And then it is going to be the upper quartile term first of all, because we need to figure out the interquartile as well. So it's going to be 3 upon 4 multiplied by 20. So that means 5 and 15th term. So 15th term is going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's going to be 0.366. So it's going to be 0.366, right? The lower quartile term is going to be what? The lower quartile term is going to be 1 over 4 multiplied by 20, and it's going to be what? 5. So it's going to be fifth term, right? So it's going to be fifth term की अगर मैं बात करूँ, so it's going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's going to be 0.348. So 0.348, that is going to be the fifth term. So if we need to figure out the interquartile range, so it's going to be 0.366 minus 0.348. So 0.366 minus 0.348. So it's going to be 0.018, and that is going to be it, right? So this is how we're going to figure out the interquartile range. Now comes what? Now we need to figure out what the company A and B is there. The lower quartile for company B is given, median is given, upper quartile is given, and we need to draw the again the two box and whiskers. Again, so to draw the box and whisker, first thing that we need to do over here is what? We need to mark the x's over here. So this is how we're going to mark the x's, and now we need to draw the box and whisker. So to draw box and whisker, what we need to look at is first mark the x's. I think 0.33, 0.34, 0.356, 7, 8, and I think that is going to make the difference, right? So these are the x values that we're going to plot. So it's going to be 0.33 over here, then it's going to be 0.34 is going to be here, 0.35 is going to be here, 0.36 is going to be here, 0.37 is going to be here, 0.38 is going to be here, and 0.39 is going to be somewhere over here, right? Even though we didn't need 0.39, but we just did it because we were completing marking the axis, right? So let's just draw company B first of all. So for B, what is the minimum value? It's going to be 0.331, right? So 0.331 is going to be somewhere over here. All right, so 0.331 is here. Then comes what? Then comes the 0.331. So 0.331 is going to be somewhere over here, right? And this is how it is supposed to be done. Then it is going to be what? 0.331. Then the median is what? The lower quartile is basically 0.346. So 0.346 is going to be what? 0.346 is going to be somewhere over here. Okay, let's just do it this way. Let's just mark it over here, right? So 0.346 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So this is what 0.346 is going to be. The median is going to be 0.352. So 352 is going to be again here, and then what? And then there is going to be 0.37. So 37 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So this is how it is supposed to be done, right? This is how it's supposed to be done. So 1 and 2, and then what happens is the upper quartile. So if we come to the upper quartile, so upper quartile may, what happens is the maximum value, so the maximum value is going to be the 0.388, right? The 0.388 is going to be somewhere over here, and then this is how it is supposed to be done, right? So this is how it's supposed to be done, and this is what it is going to be like, right? So then we're going to join all of these, this and this, we're going to join all of these. So this is what it is going to be for machine A and machine B, right? Now comes what? Now we have to, for company A and company B, sorry. Now we have to draw the similar thing for the machine, the company A as well. So for company A, we just need to know that the minimum value in this case for company A is going to be what? It is going to be 0.334. The maximum value in this case is going to be 0.374. And then the lower quartile in this case is going to be what? It was 0.348. So 0.348 is the lower quartile. Upper quartile in this case is going to be what? It is going to be 0.366. And then it is going to be what? The median quartile is going to be what? 0.355, right? Now happens what? We just need to minimum is 0.334, right? So 334 median is going to be what? It is going to be somewhere over here. So 0.334. So it is going to be somewhere over here. Then comes what? Maximum value is 0.374. So 374 is going to be somewhere over here, yeah. So right, then there is the lower quartile 0.336 to 366, right? So 366, is it 0.366 or 0.366? Yeah, so it is going to be 366 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So it's going to be 0.366. Then the lower quartile is going to be what? 0.348. So 348 is going to be here. Then it is going to be what? It is going to be, the median quartile is 355. So 355 is going to be somewhere over here, and this is how it is going to be. Then we're going to join all of these, this with this, and then we're going to join with these like the minimum and maximum as well, these boxes. So this is how it is supposed to be done. One, and this is going to be two, right? So now they're again asking make one comparison. So we can just say that the machine, the company B, length of company, the diameters of company B are longer than the diameters of the company A. So we can just write that down, and that is going to be enough, because we can see that इसका देखो median minimum भी छोटा है, maximum भी ज़्यादा है, maximum ये upper quartile बड़ा है, and then so, or we can just write it as diameters of company B are spreaded more than company A, and that is going to be it, right? That is going to be it. All right, let's just look at what is the next question that is there. So if we need to look at the next question, that is again a cumulative frequency graph. And okay, let's do this graph, and then yeah, and then there is a histogram. So I think, yeah, let's just do the cumulative frequency graph over here, right? Why? The reason why this is, we're doing this cumulative frequency graph, even though we have done one, but we need to look at how are we going to draw the polygon out of it, right? So cumulative frequencies are given, everything is sorted. We just need to do what? We just need to start off by drawing it. So to draw it, we just need to do points. So yeah, so points में क्या होता है? Lower bound of the first class interval with the cumulative frequency as 0. अब देखो यार, इसका ना जब भी एक सिंगल इंटरवल दिया हुआ हो ना, सिंगल इंटरवल दिया हुआ, तो उसका मतलब क्या होता है? ये सिंगल साइडेड गिवन हो तो उसका मतलब ये होता है हमारे पास यहाँ पर जो, मतलब ये सिर्फ अपर बाउंड्स दिए हुए, लोअर बाउंड नहीं दिए हुए, सही है, अपर बाउंड दिए हुए। सिंस ये लिंक्ड भी होंगी, क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है उन्होंने डायरेक्टली वैसे बना के दे दिया, तो अब इसका जो मतलब असल में ये होगी, ये जो चीज़ होगी ना, ये क्या होगी? ये 0 से लेके 200 होगी, फिर ये जो होगी 200 से लेके 300 होगी। सिर्फ हमें एक एंड दिया हुआ है, दूसरा वाला एंड नहीं दिया हुआ, सो दैट मीन्स वी विल हैव टू ड्रॉ इट लाइक दिस। फिर ये क्या होगा, फिर ये 300 से लेके 500 तक होगी, फिर ये 500 से लेके बेटा जी 900 तक होगी, और फिर हमारे पास ये 900 से लेके 1200 तक होगी, और फिर ये 1200 से लेके 1600 तक होगी, राइट। नाउ व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इज वी नीड जस्ट नीड टू ड्रॉ द पॉइंट्स। पॉइंट्स किससे बनते हैं, लोअर, पहला पॉइंट बनते हैं लोअर बाउंड ऑफ द फर्स्ट क्लास इंटरवल से लेके अपर बाउंड तक, सो दैट मींस इट इज गोइंग टू बी 0, 0। फिर ये क्या होगा, अपर बाउंड कितना है बेटा इसका 200 है ना, तो 200 से लेके 16। फिर ये क्या होगा, फिर ये हमारे पास होगा भाई इस तरीके से कि ये बनेगा 300 से लेके 300 पे 46 होगा, एंड देन 500 पे 88 होगा, फिर 900 पे 122 होगा, एंड देन इट इज गोइंग टू बी 1200 पे इट्स गोइंग टू बी 134 होगा, एंड देन 1600 पे 140 होगा, राइट। सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज सपोज्ड टू बी डन। Let's move on and let's look at, we just need to do what, we just need to draw the cumulative frequency graph. So if we need to draw the cumulative frequency graph, first of all we have the points already. Now we're gonna plot these points on the x-axis. So let's suppose we're starting off with 100 का difference लेते हैं, तो 100, then it's gonna be 200, then it's gonna be 300, then it's gonna be 400, then it's gonna be 500, then it's gonna be 600, then it's gonna be 700, then it's going to be 800, then it's going to be 900, then it's going to be 1000, then it's going to be 1100, then it's going to be 1200, then it's going to be 1300, then it's going to be 1400, and then it's going to be 1500, and then this is going to be 1600 as well, right? The frequencies are like till 140, so let's just mark it as 10 10. So I think it's going to be 10, this is going to be 20, this is going to be 30, then this is going to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then this is going to be 100, then it's going to be 110, then it's going to be 120, then it's going to be 130, 140, and then it's going to be 150, right? So what happens is, now we need to just plot these. So points are given to us. So first one is 0, comma 0. So it's going to be 0, comma 0. So the second one is 200, comma 16. So 200, comma 16 is over here. Then it's going to be 300, comma 46. 300, comma 46 is going to be here. Then it's going to be what? It's going to be 500, comma 88. So 500, comma 88 is going to be somewhere over here, right? So 500, comma 88 is going to be here. Then it's going to be 900, comma 122. So 900, comma 122. So 122 is here and 900 is going to be here, right? So it's going to be what? 900, comma 122. So it is going to be what? It is going to be 1200, comma 134. So 1200, comma 134 is going to be here, and then it is going to be what? Then it is going to be 1600 to 140. So it's going to be somewhere over here. Again, we have to draw the cumulative frequency polygon in this. So let us join this and this. So polygons are literally the straight lines joining between these points. Again, these points are very important to draw a cumulative frequency graph. So this is how we are supposed to draw a polygon, because graph का word written है, तो graph जब भी लिखा है ना, you can draw the polygon and curve both, right? Now they're asking for the interquartile range. Again, the interquartile range के लिए पहले interquartile upper quartile frequency निकालो. तो upper quartile frequency का मतलब होता है 3/4 multiply by the total frequency. The total frequency in this case is 140, because they're talking about 140. Total frequency is also the last cumulative frequency, right? So 3/4 multiplied by 140. So if we do this, so 140 divided by 4 multiply by 3, so it's going to be 105. So 105th frequency is the frequency. So 105 is going to be where? So 105 is going to be here, and that is going to be it, right? So यहाँ पर आते हैं, so this is what the 105 is going to be, and 105 पे it is going to be something like this, right? So it's going to be 660. So upper quartile frequency is going to be 660. Then there is going to be this is going to be the upper quartile value, right? So it's going to be upper quartile is going to be 660. Then there is the lower quartile frequency is going to be 1/4 multiplied by 140. So it's going to be 1/4 multiplied by 140 is going to be 35. So 35th term, right? So 35th is going to be where? 35th is going to be somewhere over here, and it is going to be what? It is going to be something like this, and we're going to join this, and it's going to be 260, right? So it's going to be 260. So lower quartile is going to be 260 as well, right? So if we need to figure out the interquartile range, so it's going to be 660 minus 260. So 660 में से अगर मैंने 260 minus किया, so it's going to be 400. So interquartile range is going to be 400. Now we need to look out what? We need to figure out the mean and the standard deviation. So guys, to figure out the mean, we need to look at what? We need to look at the formula for the mean, and that is summation of fx upon summation of f, right? What is this x? X is the middle value of the class intervals, right? So let's just figure out the x's first of all. So I'm going to erase this and I'm going to just write it down, the x values first of all. So if we have to figure out the x values, so over here it's going to be 100, over here it's going to be 250, then over here it's going to be what? It is going to be 400, then it's going to be over here 500 till 900, it's going to be 700, then it's going to be what? It's going to be 11,050, then it is going to be what? It is going to be 1400. Now we're going to figure out the fx as well. So to figure out fx, so it's going to be 16 multiplied by 100, so it's going to be 1600. Then it is going to be what? Okay, let's do it here. Like fx, so it's going to be 100 multiplied by 16 is going to be 1600. Then 250 multiplied by 46 is going to be what? 11500. Then it is going to be 88 multiplied by 400. It's going to be 35200. And then it is going to be what? 122 multiplied by 700 is going to be 85 200 400. And then it is going to be what? 134 multiplied by 1050. It's going to be 140700. And then it is going to be 140 multiplied by 1400. It's going to be 196 000, right? So this is what the fx is going to be. Let's just add all these fx's. So 1600 plus 11,500 plus 35,200 plus 85,400 plus 147,700 plus 196,000, right? So it's going to be 470,400, right? So it's going to be 470,400 is going to be the sum of all the terms. So 470,400 divided by the total of frequency. The total of frequency is 140. So this is going to be what? This is going to be 3360 is going to be the thing. And am I doing it fine? Yeah, it's going to be 140. So the mean, I don't think so, man. Oh no, my bad. Okay, so we have done it wrong. Why we have done it wrong? Because like these are the cumulative frequencies. These are not the actual frequencies. So we'll have to figure out the actual frequencies first of all. How do we figure out the actual frequencies in this? Let's just do that. So to figure out the actual frequencies, because these are cumulative frequencies are made by adding, right? So अगर मैंने यहाँ पर मेरे पास जब एक्चुअल फ्रीक्वेंसी ये 16 कैसे बना होगा, क्योंकि मेरे पास अब देखो जो भी फ्रीक्वेंसीज होती हैं, कम्युनिकेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसीज होती है ना, वो फ्रीक्वेंसीज को ऐड करके बनती हैं, राइट? फ्रीक्वेंसीज उसमें ऐड होती रहती हैं और वो बनती रहती हैं, राइट? तो अब देखो ये जो 16 है, तो देखो सबसे पहली जो कम्युनिकेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी होती है ना, वो जीरो होती है, सही है? हालांकि वो लिखा हुआ नहीं होता, लेकिन वो जीरो किसी एक क्लास का पार्ट है, तो बस वो जीरो से शुरू होता है। तो जीरो में ऐसा क्या ऐड हुआ होगा कि 16 बना होगा, जीरो में 16 ऐड हुआ होगा तो 16 बना होगा। फिर 16 में ऐसा क्या ऐड हुआ होगा, मतलब कि 16 में ऐसा मैंने क्या ऐड किया होगा कि वो 46 बन गया होगा। तो अगर 46 बना होगा तो आई थिंक 30 ऐड हुआ होगा तो 46 बना होगा। फिर मैंने 46 में बेसिकली ऐसा क्या ऐड किया होगा कि वो 88 बना होगा। तो 88 माइनस 46 करते हैं तो दैट इज गोना बी 42। तो बेटा जी यहाँ पर आ जाएगा। फिर मैंने 188 में ऐसा क्या ऐड किया होगा कि 122 बना होगा। तो 122 माइनस 88 करते हैं तो इट्स गोना बी 34। तो यहाँ पे 34 आ जाएगा। फिर क्या होगा, 134 में ऐसा क्या ऐड किया होगा कि 22 बना होगा। So 134 minus 122, it's going to be what? It's going to be 12, and this is how it's going to be done. 134 में ऐसा क्या ऐड किया होगा कि 140 बना होगा। तो 140 minus 134, so it's going to be 6, and this is how it is supposed to be done, right? So this is what my frequencies are going to be. Now I have to figure out the fx. So to figure out fx, I'll multiply each x value with its frequency and figure it out, right? So 100 multiplied by 16 is going to be what? It is going to be 1600. Right? Then it is going to be 250 multiplied by 30. 250 multiplied by 30 is going to be what? It is going to be 17500. Then 400 multiplied by 42 is going to be 16800. And then 700 multiplied by 34 is going to be 233,800. And then it is going to be what? 1050 multiplied by 12, so it's going to be 12,600. And then 1400 multiplied by 6 is going to be what? It is going to be 8,400, right? Now 1, 2, 3, I'll add all of these values. So it's going to be 1600 plus 7500 plus 16800 plus 23800 plus 12600 plus 8400. So it is going to be what? 70,700, and that is going to be it. Right? Now we add all of these and divide it by the total. So 70,500 is the sum of all the fx values. So I'll just put it here, 70,700. So it's going to be 70,700 divided by the total of frequency. The total of frequency is what, guys? The total of frequency is 140. So 70,700 divided by 140 is going to be 505, and that is going to be the final answer. Right? So this was 505 is going to be the answer for this part, right? Now comes the last part, and that is the standard deviation. So standard deviation is square root of variance, right? So square root of variance is going to be what? So what is variance? The variance is summation of fx square upon summation of f minus the mean, that is 505 ka square, right? So first of all, we'll have to figure out x square values. So if we have to figure out the x square values, what is it going to be? Let's just figure that out first of all. So it is going to be something like this, right? X square. So we have to figure out the x square values. So 100 multiplied by 2 is going to be what? 10,000. Then it's going to be 250 multiplied by the square is going to be 62,500. Then it's going to be 400 square. It's going to be 160,000, right? And then it is going to be 700 square is going to be 49. And this 1050 square is going to be what? It is going to be 1102500, and then it is going to be 1400 ka square, so it's going to be 196,000, and that is going to be it, right? So now we're going to multiply each x square with its x. So 10,000 multiplied by 16 is going to be 160,000. So it is going to be 160,000, right? And then 62,500 multiplied by 30. So 62,500 multiplied by 30 is going to be 1875,000, and then it is going to be what? It is going to be 160,000 multiplied by 42. So 160,000 multiplied by 42 is going to be what? It is going to be 672. 4 zeros, 672 and 4 zeros like this. Then it's going to be 49 4 zeros multiplied by 34. So 49 4 zeros multiplied by 34. So it's going to be what? It is going to be 1666 4 zeros, right? And this is how it's going to be. And then it is going to be 11250 multiplied by 12. So 110 multiplied by 12. So it is going to be 1323. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be 1323 and then 4 zeros again, and then 196,000 multiplied by 6, it's going to be 1176,000 and 00, right? So this is how it's going to be. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, we are going to add all of these. So 1600 and then 1875 and 3 zeros, then it's going to be 672 4 zeros, and then it's going to be 1666 double zeros, and then it is going to be what? And it's going to be 1323 4 zeros, and then it's going to be 11676 4 zeros. So it's going to be what? 50,405,000, and then it's going to be 50. Okay, so this is becoming what? This is becoming 15040, and this is going to be 5,000, and in the denominator it's going to be the total of frequency. The total of frequency is 140, and then this is going to be 505 square, right? So this is become what? This will divide by 140, so it will become 36,00035.7143 minus 505 square is going to be what? 255025. So it's going to be what? 30035.7143 minus 505 square. So that means it is going to be 105010. This is the variance, guys. Now we need to figure out the square root as 0.7. We have to figure out the standard deviation. So square root of the answer is going to be 324, and that is going to be my standard deviation in this case, and this is going to be the final answer. Alright, so guys, this is it for the descriptive stats, and this is where I'd want to stop as well. because like we could see that there is like a repetition of questions that is there in this, and we have to just like know the right formulas, the right methods for the representations as well, for the measures of central tendency as well, and that is it for representation of data. So I'll just call it a day here for this stream, and tomorrow we're going to be doing the distributions. The distributions are basically normal, binomial, geometric, right? Random variable, this DRV is what we are done with. Tomorrow we're just going to be starting with normal, binomial, and the geometric distribution. So I'll just see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye bye.